Today's video is sponsored by Karma. So 2 weeks ago I got a new monitor and it's honestly nothing like you've ever seen before. It is a 28-inch vertical monitor made by LG, and I think this is actually such a perfect monitor for UI designers, CAD, devs, creators, financial analysts. It's just so clutch, and today I'm going to be reviewing it. Basically, I'll explain how this can be used and why I think it makes such a perfect addition to a dual monitor setup. And as an ex-software engineer, I've never been this excited about a product. I think with the new MacBooks, it could be the perfect and most needed addition to your setup. By the way, if you enjoyed the production, let me know with a hashtag LG. Okay, so what's in the box? Cutting this open will reveal a few things. I'm happy to say that this monitor does come with a good amount of accessories and cables. This includes a body cap for cable management, a USB-C cable, a USB-B cable with a 1.4 meter DC extension cable, an HDMI cable, and of course the power supply with the power cable themselves. The only thing I was confused about was the Allen key it came with, but I'll explain that later on. Towards the top left of the package, we do get a cover to hide the cable management within the ergo arm this comes with. The ergo arm, by the way, was very well thought out. This thing is massive and feels super sturdy. I thought it was a full metal arm at first, but it isn't. Some parts are made out of plastic and others out of aluminum. The base is an example of it, and I think this is one of the best designs I've seen in a while. Honestly, well done LG. I was surprised to see how fluid everything seemed from the get-go. The cable management cover that came in the box was super easy to install, and the cable management hooks aren't too bad. Below of it all, you will find the monitor itself, and for a 28-inch panel, this really isn't heavy. For a second, I had completely forgotten this was a vertical monitor, and luckily, this looks really good. Looking at this form factor is definitely something that you might need to get used to, but at first glance, I thought LG did such a great job with it. Plus, it's very much a thin monitor with plenty of ports. If at some point you'd like to get this monitor and it's not in stock, I recommend you check out an app called Karma. Karma has been a long-term sponsor of ours because we use their Chrome extension to shop all the time. It is also an app and it ensures you never miss a price drop, a coupon code, or an item in stock when shopping online. It allows me to stay up to date with my tech and make sure I get the best prices for any holiday event. It keeps allowing us to find cool accessories for our videos at fair prices when I shop, for example, on Amazon. By clicking on the link down below, you can download Karma for free and add it as your Chrome extension. With it, you can visit your favorite stores, find an item of your choice like an LG Ultra Fine 4K monitor, and click on the button slider to save your item. You can select when you want to be notified and what list you want to add the item to. I do get notifications via email or mobile push to know when my saved products go on sale or come back in stock. I've personally been creating lists when it comes to buying products for the videos so I can organize all my tech for the videos and help my impulsive purchases. At checkout, it is able to automatically scan the web for coupon codes, but note that this is a special feature only available on the computer. And when shopping at select retail stores, Karma gives cash back to you and a good cause. You can download Karma for free using the link in the description down below. One thing to note is that when mounting this monitor, you need to offset the arm to properly place it in the middle of the desk. Other than that, the base makes it really easy to install, and luckily it comes with a rubber pad to avoid damaging your desk. The coolest thing about setting this up is how easy it is, mainly because LG avoided having screw threads to VESA mount it, and so all you need to do is clamp the panel to the VESA plate. It really is as simple as that. Also, because the ports are on the back like such, routing cables is easy. Thanks to the arm, your cable management can be clean and will hide most of your mess within the frame tube. All can be hidden with a cover and with a top cap. Luckily, LG was smart enough to include a DC extension cable as well, which gives your cable management a bit more flexibility. This will allow you storing the power supply brick wherever you wish to have it. Well thought out, LG. Another thing worth mentioning is how good the arm feels. There are a ton of movements this arm can deliver. You can very much set it at any angle you please. You can tilt it, change its height, swivel it, pivot it, extend it, and of course retract it. And I really like how this time around they've redesigned the height feature of the arm. I'd love to understand how they made this. It seems very interesting. By the way, the Allen key this came with is used for this specific feature. It tightens the tension in case you want the height feature to be stiffer or looser. So the ports. We've got two HDMI ports, one display port, a headphone output jack, a USB upstream port coupled with two USB downstream ports, and the most important one, USB-C. It's USB-C with data transmission with 90 watts of power delivery from the display. However, sadly our monitor unit was faulty as it is an engineering sample, so we needed to use HDMI. But the monitor delivers an outstanding resolution of 2560 by 2880 pixels at 60 Hz. It really is all the connectivity you need for this specific monitor when everything works, of course. The bezels, super small and thin. I love how minimal they kept the bottom chin. The whole monitor is super thin in my opinion. It is very light, and if you really are on a budget, this whole chassis does have speakers. Next to these, you will find a little power and control joystick, exactly like my ultra-wide monitor from LG and my Ergo 4K display. I'm a huge fan of how minimal they keep these input buttons on their panels, mainly because everything you need is within their menu system. We've got quick shortcuts which include inputs, PBP, which is extremely useful, and settings, of course. Within settings, you can do all sorts of things with this monitor. You've got quick settings where you can change the brightness, enable auto brightness, play with the contrast, adjust the volume, play with the color temperature, which by the way is nice. There are a few settings in here you can play with. Also, there's PBP, which is the main feature for a panel like this, and one that I very much like is USB selection. Because this has a built-in hub, you can choose the USB upstream cable connection port to use. Also, the input menu delivers other settings. One I like to leave on is the auto input switch, so when changes are detected within the inputs, the monitor will recognize them right away. Within picture, you'll have the picture mode. Here you'll find a bunch of different picture modes. We have custom, vivid, HDR effect, reader, cinema, sRGB, DCI-P3, FPS, RTS, and color weakness. As you can see, this is very much a productivity monitor and one that a designer can use. There are so many different types of picture adjustments you can make, and this includes a feature called super resolution. It's pretty freaking cool. For gamers, there's also a response time and a black stabilizer feature. The rest of the picture mode menu starts to get a bit more complex if you really want to play with colors. Other than that, the rest of the menu is simple. You've got your sound settings and some general settings you can play with. Okay, so this isn't a Retina display of course, but LG makes some of the best panels out there. We've got a 27.6 inch IPS display with a 2560 by 2880 resolution outputting 60 Hz, so it's mainly for those who want to work. It is a 16 by 18 aspect ratio panel with 90% DCI-P3 coverage, HDR10, 300 nits of brightness, and a 5 millisecond response time. Literally numbers for those who need a productivity monitor. And this really doesn't give the full story when it comes to the quality of the image. Of course, unlike the Retina display you have on your MacBook, when it comes to text and so on, things won't be as sharp as you would like them to be. So after spending numerous hours with it, I'm not quite sure if it's the panel for color graders, but it's a panel for video editors. Splitting sections of your editing workflow vertically is absolutely wonderful. And for UI and UX design, I think this is way more than enough. The colors are very nice on this display and they are accurate. It's not Apple display accurate, but they are still very nice, and it is a monitor that comes at a third of the Apple display price. So a panel like this is very nice for coding, Excel spreadsheet use, messaging apps, and timeline feeds. Even for CAD design work, it's actually excellent. You can split sections of the screen horizontally and it works so well. So Blender people, I think you're definitely going to love this. And console gamers, if you really don't mind the refresh rate on this, PBP is a really cool feature for you guys to use. You can split screens with your console or PC if you wish to have, and have your MacBook on top in case you're watching walkthroughs, tutorials, Twitch streams, and so on. I think the colors this delivers for consoles are very, very good. Personally, I think the best use case for this monitor is to have it as a second panel. I've been waiting for like 2 months already for this display, and that's mainly because I wanted to pair it up with a 4K ergo display. So for me, I think rocking this as your second monitor is the best thing you can do. The productivity you can get out of this thing is absolutely insane. If you are a developer, it doesn't get better than this. Having your code on the left and a tutorial on the right is the perfect setup. Not only that, but with your code editor on the left, you have room on the right for things like Postman, Compass, Docker, your actual web app, and more. You can then split things on the DualUp screen in a way that you'll still have enough vertical room for code and enough room for maybe a video on top or even Stack Overflow. Again, it leaves room on your main monitor for a UI design and so on. In my opinion, this is very much a no-brainer at $700. For $700, I definitely have no problem recommending this as your secondary panel. There's still so much work that needs to be done horizontally, so I think this makes a very awesome second monitor to have. I'm just hoping LG doesn't ship all their monitors with USB-C issues. Let me know your thoughts on this monitor. I'm actually intrigued about what you think about it. Hopefully this video was enough to maybe help you avoid it or purchase it. I have a whole desk setup makeover episode coming soon for a software engineer who works at Expedia. Stay tuned for that. See you all soon. Take care.